Hey guys, so to go along with my haul that I recently did, I'm gonna go ahead and do a book unhaul. So what I do is I trade in books that I no longer want to read, that I have, or that I have read and I don't want to keep for my permanent collection, and I take them to my used bookstore where I receive store credit, and then I purchase more used books. Without too much fuss, I just want to go ahead and get into it, so let's just start right in. So the first thing I have is a trilogy by Brent Weeks. I'm currently reading the is it the Lightbringer? I don't know. I'm reading Black Prism right now. I'm really enjoying it, and this is probably a series I'm going to continue reading, but it took me so long to even start that series that I can't justify hanging on to his other series that I own, because I'll probably never get into it. So that would be this one. So The Way of Shadows, Shadow's Edge, Beyond the Shadows. I'm going to go ahead and pass on these. Maybe, you know, one day when I don't have a humongous TBR, I'll come back to them, but for now, they're going to go to my bookstore. I am trading in my copy of Mooncalled by Patricia Briggs. I liked it, but not enough to hang on to the series. And at this point, I am considering whether or not I'm going to want to continue the series. So we'll see, but I'm gonna trade in the first one that I've read just because I don't feel like I need to keep it. I have a mass market copy of The Words of Radiance that I'm trying to trade in. I have tried bringing it there before, and because the spine is so beat up, I guess it really couldn't handle like a third person reading it or something, I don't know. But I bought this used there. I was hoping they would take it back, but it doesn't seem like they want it because it's in too rough of shape. So if I can't get them to take it, I may consider just giving it away. Yeah, so Words of Radiance, it's not that I don't want this for my permanent collection, because I do, I just want the big giant floppy paperbacks. So that's what I'm gonna get eventually. I have Forest of a Thousand Lanterns. This is a book I purchased quite a few years ago at this point. I've just never gotten to it, and now I have other things I'd rather read. Invisible Monsters. Like I said before, a lot of these are books that I've purchased used and then never got around to or lost interest in, so I'm just going to trade them back in. And then for the next book I'm unhauling is The Reader. Now I hung on to this through a couple unhauls because I really actually wanted to read it, but I just don't think I'm gonna get to it at this point, and there's a sequel out, and so I'm just gonna trade it in because I'm never gonna get to it. It's gonna sit on my shelves and take up space for things that I could actually read. So it's going. And then I have Ashes in the Snow, and this is one I actually purchased used recently, and then promptly realized I have zero interest in reading it, so that's what I get for doing that to myself. And then I have decided, I'm sorry if you love this series, but I just don't. I didn't like the first book enough to be like, yes, I'll continue and see where this goes. From what little I have read, just to see if I'd be interested, I kind of know where it goes, and I don't really care. So anyways, I'm trading in the rest of my Queen's Thief books. I have like the next 3, I think there's like 5 in this series or something. So Conspiracy of Kings, The Queen of Atolia, and The King of Atolia. All of these are gonna go. I don't remember, I think I may have purchased these used. I think somebody traded the whole series in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and trade these in. I have no interest in continuing the series. I didn't hate it really, but like, it is one of my least favorite books from this year, so there you go, they're gonna go. And this may be one of the more controversial picks from my unhaul, but that is The Children of Virtue and Vengeance. Now, I've read the first book in this series. It may have been, I read it when it first came out, so it's either 1 or 2 years ago at this point, and it was okay. And then when the sequel came out, I was really excited to read it, but I never got around to it. And at this point, I have read some things about the direction it takes where people weren't in love with the way it went. And this was on my list of books that I wanted to finish by the end of this year, but at this point, I think I'm just gonna unhaul it so that somebody who's really actually excited to read it can pick it up at a cheap price. Yeah, sorry. I just gotta go. And then I have a copy of Atlas Obscura. Now this is more like a interesting reference book that I purchased at one point, but I've gone through it a couple times at this point, and I'm just not interested in owning it anymore, so it's gonna go. This is more like it's an encyclopedia of odd or supernatural places basically in the world that people can visit, and it's a pretty interesting book. I really liked it. I didn't read it cover to cover, but I looked, you know, at a lot of the stuff in the US. So Atlas Obscura, goodbye. Okay, and then we have The Power, another one that I was really excited to read when it first came out, and then I just never got around to it. And now at this point, I'm just never gonna get to it because I've lost interest, so someone else can enjoy it. And I've got Choke, Between the Blade and the Heart. Again, another one I bought and was really hyped about, and now I just have no interest in it. My extra copy of Junji Ito's Cat Diary, and Ember in the Ashes. This one I actually read and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I just have no interest in saving the series for my permanent collection. I probably will read, I own the next one, and I probably will read it and see how it goes, but I guess I felt similarly to it to when I read the original Grisha trilogy, where it was okay, but I just didn't love it a lot, and I feel like maybe I just missed my time to fully enjoy this series. If I'd read it maybe when I was in high school or right out of high school, but I'm almost 30 years old, and I feel like maybe it's just not for me at this point. My reading tastes have changed, so. And then I'm unhauling Middle Game because I did not like it, and yeah, I'm unhauling it. I didn't finish it. I don't care to finish it. I'm never going to read anything from this author. Honestly, this is disappointingly one of the worst books I've read this year, but I feel like I shouldn't be shocked because I've read Shannon McGuire's not middle grade. I've read her young adult series, you know, the little, what are they, Every Heart a Doorway book, and I've read quite a few of them, and I listened to the audiobook for them, and they were okay, but I didn't love them. And it's not the story, it's the writer's style for me. So I'm gonna unhaul it, and I'm probably just not gonna buy any more books that she's written, unfortunately. And then I have Well Met, which I did read recently, and I enjoyed it enough, but I don't enjoy it enough to keep. I have some comic books that I'm trading in. So the way I do it with my comics is very similar. I trade in the single issues that I buy because I have a subscription with my local shop. We subscribe to certain series, we pick them up every month. Mostly we go every 2 weeks or so. And that's how we do it. So we read them as they come out, so as they're newly released, and then if we decide we want to keep them for the collection, we'll buy the trade paperback or the hardcover when it comes out. But the single issues, we no longer keep them at our house. We did for a while, and then it started taking up too much space, and it was annoying. We just stuck them in the closet and never dealt with them. So now we trade them in because the bookstore will take them and sell them, and they'll give you store credit for them. So I'm trading in the first ink blot. This is a double that we accidentally got. And the first one of Wind, Dryad, another Dryad. This is a series I actually really like so far, but we just don't, like I said, we don't keep any of them. So I'm trading in Die number 11. If you are into D&D, this is a great series. I highly recommend it. Trading in another copy of Low. This is about to end. Trading in, I think this may be the final issue or the second to final issue of The Wicked and Divine. It was okay. I don't have much to say about it. And the last comic is The Witch's Bad Egg. This was the special Halloween edition. This is an older series at this point, but I read it when it first came out. I really love the art in this series, which is why I really just like needed this because it's so fucking cool. And then I have 7 or so more books. And then the other controversial pick is Five Dark Fates by Kendar Blake. I have read the other books in this series, and I actually really loved them, but at this point, I just don't care. I don't care enough to finish it. the last one that I read, I think it was like the third. This is the fourth and final book. I read the third. So the third book, it was okay. It's gone on too long. And I feel like it could have wrapped up easily in 3 books if they just kept the momentum with the plot. So, and I just don't care anymore. I don't care anymore, so it's gonna go. There's my controversial pick. Then I have, like, what are these called? Poison Study. I have 3 of them. They're gonna go. It's a series that I purchased used quite a while ago at this point, and I don't think I'm gonna get to it. I'm not interested enough to prioritize it, and some of them, you know, I have so many series I have to read still, so this has gotta go. Someone else will enjoy it. Someone else will appreciate it. I'm getting rid of Dead Until Dark. This is the book series that True Blood is based off of, because I've heard it's kind of terrible, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. I bought that one on a whim. I'm getting rid of this one, A Man Called Uva. I bought this one recently. It is a contemporary novel, and I knew what it was about when I bought it, and I knew it was a risk, and then I brought it home and I was like, I'm never gonna read this. His newer book, Anxious People, I would really be interested in reading, and I kind of bought this thinking, oh, I'll read this to see if I like his style first. But the actual plot of this, I'm not interested in it. So, there we go. And lastly, I have Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I have to do this really fast, but I may take you guys along. My camera is overheating, so I have to do this really fast. But I may take you guys along when I go to trade these in, and then kind of show you how much I get for them, and maybe do a shop with me when I do that. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in seeing that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you really want to see more of my content. I hope you have a good week. Thanks for watching. Bye.